What's going on, guys? It's Mike for SimRacing604. Happy New Year to you, and welcome to my list of 7 things that I'm looking forward to in the year 2020 in the world of sim racing. And we'll start off with what's on your screen here. This is the Volkswagen I.D. It's an electric prototype, and it holds real-world records at Goodwood, at Pikes Peak, and at Nordschleife. But it's criminally underrepresented in sim racing, and Raceroom actually had it for a few months last year. They let us try it out at Nordschleife, see what you could do for a lap time in the time leading up to the real-world IDR shot at the world record. So it was a fun car to drive, and it really brought the community together, so I'm hoping Raceroom can either bring this challenge back or perhaps just release the car and let us drive it. And it's a whole lot of fun, and again, one of the fastest cars ever built, so would love to have this one back specifically in Raceroom racing experience. So the second item on my list is the successor to this C7R, which will be the C8R. It's Chevrolet's first mid-engine Corvette, and we have it on the road as well, but the C8R will be the endurance racing version. United Racing Design teased some screenshots, some very early development shots, that is, of the C8R that they're going to be bringing to Assetto Corsa at some point. It's difficult because it hasn't actually competed yet, but the preliminary shots are looking great, and I can't wait to try this thing out. But also, in addition to the one for Assetto Corsa, it wouldn't surprise me if we got it for R Factor 2. Recently, Studio 397 has brought a couple of cars to sim racing before they actually came out in the real world, like the Senna GTR and the M2 Racing, and they engaged the manufacturers directly, so I wouldn't be surprised if it came to R Factor 2 as well. That's purely speculation on my part, but either way, we should have it at some point this year for Assetto Corsa, so I'm very excited about that. And third on my list is Automobilista 2. It looks like we're just a few months away from having the full release of Automobilista 2. We thought we might have it in December of 2019, but the date got pushed back. And everything we see so far looks really awesome. But honestly, it started out with such a good base that it won't take much for this one to succeed, in my opinion. I have long since said that if Automobilista 1, if it had had VR and more modern graphics, it would have been, in my opinion, probably the best racing sim out there. And conversely, they've teamed up with Slightly Mad Studios to use their Mad engine for improving the graphics for AMS2. And I've always said that if Project Cars 2 had the force feedback of Automobilista, it would be one of the best racing sims, if not the best racing sim. So it seems like a perfect marriage, having SNS come together with Ritza to develop Automobilista 2, and I have high hopes for this one. I think it's going to be fantastic, and I can't wait. We're just a few months away. So hopefully it's mostly a graphics improvement. We know it's still going to be focused heavily on the Brazilian racing scene, and that's cool because Automobilista introduced a lot of people, including myself, to a lot of cool cars and cool tracks from South America and specifically Brazil. So I'm looking forward to a lot of that coming in just a few short months. It's gonna be awesome. The fourth item on my list is the Racesim Studio GT pack, and this one is again purely speculation by me. I'm hoping this happens, but I haven't heard that it will. But I really like the work Racesim Studio did with the Bayro 6 V8, which you're seeing on your screen now. It was a cool take on GT3 cars in Assetto Corsa, totally different feel than any of the Kunos GT3 cars, and felt a lot closer to ACC. So I really like the feel of this car, but if you guys watched my review, you probably heard me say that just seemed like the price was a bit high for one car, but I think if they put it together with 2 or 3 other cars and you have a field to work with, I think it's going to be fantastic, and that would be a day one buy for me. Racesim Studio always does good work with their mods, and I think a GT pack, a GT3 pack for Assetto Corsa from RSS would be incredible. And speaking of Assetto Corsa Competizione, we're probably about 6 weeks away from getting the Intercontinental GT pack. It'll be the first official DLC for ACC, and it'll open up the world of tracks a little bit in ACC. We've had 11 so far, and it's looking like we will get 4 more with the Intercontinental GT pack. That's going to be cool for sure. But another thing with ACC that I'm looking for, because the sim is already awesome, it's really grown a lot throughout 2019, or I should say that in past tense now. It grew a lot in 2019 and is now more or less my favorite sim, and I think that's going to continue. One thing I would hope they would focus on is the career. That's the only thing for me right now that's lacking, is the career starts out great and then it just kind of peters off. So I'm hoping they can spend some time throughout 2020 developing that and make this already awesome sim into a really complete sim. So hoping for that from Kunos in 2020 for ACC. And next on my list of things I'm excited about for sim racing for 2020 is Project Cars Go. So as far as I know, that's the working title for the mobile version of Project Cars, and as soon as I talk about mobile gaming, a lot of people say, hold on, that's not sim racing, and there's definitely some merit to that argument, but I just think having something cool on our phones that we could, tether a controller to and be able to play on a bus, or while we're, on lunch break at work, or in between classes, or whenever you find time, without the ability to sit down at your rig. But it would be cool to have some sort of mobile sim racing option, and I think Project Cars could very well deliver that, and I have high expectations for how cool this could be. We have had a few teases, and we're hearing from the Slightly Mad Studios team that it is coming, but nothing as much as a date so far, so it'll hopefully be coming sometime in 2020, but I don't have any confirmation on that. But I think when it comes, it's going to be cool. Believe it or not, mobile gaming now is about half of the worldwide gaming economy, so it's a market that can't be ignored, and I definitely applaud Slightly Mad Studios for trying to bring sim racing to mobile gaming. So that is definitely on my list of things I'm looking forward to in 2020. And finally, guys, the last thing I'm looking forward to in sim racing in 2020 is more real-world racers starting in racing sims and racing games and helping to popularize them. So we've seen Lando Norris, Max Verstappen, David Perel, all these big names, more recently Carlos Sainz and Lewis Hamilton even talking on his social media about Gran Turismo Sport, and it really legitimizes what we do. I mean, some of them will be paid, of course, for these promotions, but others are just choosing to be into sim racing and racing games, and it's going to, like I said, really help legitimize things. And with that popularity that they will bring to our hobby, it's going to come more advertising money, and from that advertising money we will get better games and hopefully cheaper hardware and things like that. So it can only be a good thing when you have big names promoting your hobby, and we're starting to see that more and more, and I think it's a very exciting trend. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more social media posts and more videos from guys like I mentioned before, and hopefully it helps grow the hobby we all know and love. So that's it for my list, guys. Let me know what you are looking forward to in 2020. There's some things that I left off because I'm not sure they're actually going to come anytime soon, but let me know what you're excited about for this coming year. Once again, Happy New Year to you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.